Hello everyone, Chaos here, and welcome to another old school RuneScape video. Today, my revamped 1 to 99 runecrafting guide. As the name implies, with this skill you are able to create your own runes, and you typically do this by imbuing the magic of runecrafting altars on essence to gain experience. You can normally expect a ton of profit, although the road to 99 can be relatively slow. Even with the many great quality of life updates it has received over the years. If you find this video useful, consider subscribing with notifications on, and to join our Discord server for general guidance on your way to 99 runecrafting. So, let's begin. Now, these are all the quests that provide runecrafting experience as of the time of making this video. Remember that some of them have a runecrafting level requirement themselves, and you may not be able to do them right away. We will touch on two crucial quests in a few minutes, but compared to other skills, runecrafting does not provide tons of significant experience, especially when you reach the level required for some of them. But still, it's pretty useful to know. As for what quests are going to help us with this skill, Enter the Abyss is one of them. This is actually a mini quest. We will talk about it during the training section, but this will grant you access to the Abyss and also to pouch repairing. One of the methods we will talk about requires a quest called Lunar Diplomacy. And not only that, it will also help us repair pouches without even going into the Abyss. But again, more on that later. Up next we will cover items that will aid you in runecrafting. Some essential and some just useful. We cannot talk about training this skill without essence pouches. Not to be confused with a rune pouch. You are able to get these by killing creatures in the Abyss at a rate of 1 in 42. This is not highly recommended if you are low level, but recently you are also able to get them as drops at a minigame we will talk about called the Guardians of the Rift. Keep in mind that while you can receive the 4 basic pouches as drops or from the store, you may not fill them with essence until you reach the level required for them. They hold a specific number of essence for you, and you can empty them whenever you reach an altar of your choice. After a certain number of uses they will degrade, meaning that they will hold less essence than before. We will look at how to fix them in a little bit. With a drop from Guardians of the Rift called the Abyssal Needle, along with all 4 previous pouches, you are able to combine them for a single pouch which will hold a whopping 40 essence. To do so, you need 85 runecrafting and 56 crafting. When you have it, you may not own any of the previous pouches anymore. Also from Guardians of the Rift, which again we will talk about in a little bit, you have the runecrafting outfit, officially known as Arraignments of the Eye. Each piece provides a 10% chance to craft more runes per essence, and with all 4 pieces equipped, this bonus jumps to 60%. You can also attach any runecrafting tiara to the hat for free entrances to an altar. It is crucial if you're looking for even more profit with the skill. Last but not least, by completing the Grandmaster quest Sins of the Father, you may access the vampire city of Darkmeyer. Here, you will find a place called the Dayalt Essence Mine. You can mine the active pillars in this place to obtain Dayalt shards, and trade them with an NPC called Narana. She will give you 1 essence per shard, and you may use it instead of pure essence for 50% experience per rune crafted. It's a decent AFK activity if you want to maximize your gains, but typically I would recommend training with pure essence, as you can do it right away. If you are using Runelite, the first plugin I recommend is Menu Entry Swapper. Open it up and go to the section called Object Swaps. Check the first option, which is customizable left and shift click. Then, open your bank and have essence pouches in your inventory. Press shift and then left click the pouches to see an option called Swap Shift Click. Go to the next menu and select the fill option. This way, you won't need to close your bank when filling your pouches, and it saves a ton of time. The last one is called Guardians of the Rift Helper. Since this activity will be one of our go-to on our way to 99, there's no better way to make it more efficient. Head to the plugin hub and download it when you have access to the minigame. We are going to get our first runecrafting levels by not doing any runecrafting at all. You will do a mini quest called Enter the Abyss, and this will take you from levels 1 to 9. Like I said before, this will also grant you access to the Abyss and a way to fix your pouches. We will talk about this place later. At level 9 you are going to buy an Earth Tiara and a few pieces of essence. Head northeast of a rock and enter the Earth Altar to create Earth runes. You will only need to make about 29 of them to reach level 10. So it's literally just 2 trips of Earth runes. At this point you can do a quest called the Temple of the Eye. Not only will this grant you access to a runecrafting minigame called Guardians of the Rift, but will also take you from level 10 all the way to level 27 and will give you a medium pouch. I'll mention this method first because it's a great candidate for you to camp from 27 all the way to 99, especially for Ironman players. Guardians of the Rift is a more engaging way to train runecrafting, and it scales with your level. The higher you go, the more altars you will be able to visit, and the more runes you will be able to make as well. On screen you are seeing some of the quest requirements to have access to the entire activity, so watch out for some of those. I have an entire guide on this amazing minigame you can check out, but in short, grab as many pouches as you have, mine essence shards from Guardian Remains, turn them into essence at the crafting table near the entrance, and then head to any active altar in order to craft your runes. You will be left with catalytic or elemental energy depending on the type of altar you visited. Feed it to the Great Guardian to earn points. Every now and then, a yellow portal will open. You may click on it to be teleported to a place where you can mine essence without the need to craft it, saving a ton of time in the process. You can also use cells obtained from the eastern table to charge them at altars, and then use them either on the barriers or on the Guardian Remains to protect the place from abyssal walkers. When the Guardian reaches 100% energy, he will close the portal, and you will gain points according to your performance and experience according to your runecrafting level. You can then spend these points at the rewards Guardian near the entrance for tons of great loot that's going to help you in and outside of the minigame, including the Abyssal Lantern for extra benefits inside the game. Also Abyssal Pearls for you to access the minigame shop and repair your pouches. This is a simplified version of the in-depth guide, so go give it a watch too. I'll go back a little bit and mention quite literally the best method you can use at level 23. Granted, you have Lunar Diplomacy and level 82 magic. With these requirements, you may craft the lava runes. I have a quick guide that you can check out for more information, but in short, here's what you want to do. Copy the setup you see on screen and use either a dueling ring or a ring of the elements to travel near the fire altar north of Al-Kharid. On your way in, use the spell Magic Imbue, which basically allows you to avoid using talismans to make combination runes. Once inside, use your earth runes on the fire altar, and once crafted, empty your pouches to make more. Once done, go to the bank of your choice, and repeat this process until you hit your goal. Make sure to keep an eye out for your binding necklace, ring of dueling, and of course repair your pouches whenever needed. This is much more convenient because you are already on the Lunar Spellbook. When doing this, you should keep two things in mind. One, this will be fairly expensive, but of course it's the best runecrafting experience in the game. And two, it's fairly click intensive and requires a ton of attention, so you will need to be laser focused. Our next method is available to us at level 1, but I recommend a minimum of 50 in order to make it more worth your time. We will go to the Orunia Altar, or as it's better known as, the ZMI Altar. For this, Lunar Diplomacy is also recommended, as there's a teleport that will take you directly outside of it for you to train this skill this way. Before you go in, talk to the banker and select the option "I'd like to talk about quick payment deals." You will then be shown a screen where you can choose one type of rune to pay 20 off in order to access your bank, and you must have them on you when banking. Because of this, I recommend selecting low-level cheap runes you can pay with, like air or even mind runes. I also have a quick guide for this for slightly more information, but again, I'll run you through it right here. When doing this for the first time, grab all necessary items in your inventory and remove their placeholder from their bank. Then, fill your entire bank with empty placeholders so you can deposit everything except for your pouches. When you open your bank, make sure to grab Essence, and use the menu Entry Swapper plugin to shift-click your pouches to fill them at the bank. Once you have a full inventory, go to the altar via your favorite method. You can manually run there, follow people to the altar, use an item on someone already running for better pathing, or if you zoom out enough, you can click the altar all the way from the bank. World 327 is the official world for this activity, and it's where you will find a lot of runners. Not as many as before because, in my opinion, Guardians of the Rift is much more fun. Anyway, when you make it to the altar, craft your runes, and use the Orunia teleport spell in order to get back near the entrance. Go downstairs and repeat this process for as long as you need. With one of the newest Grandmaster quests being Sins of the Father, we were granted access to the True Blood altar. Other than the quest, you don't need that many things to make blood runes, but for the biggest payout, some higher levels may be needed. So, let's see how to prepare for those. Take your essence pouches and optionally an item called the Blood Essence for a chance at more runes crafted. The first option to get there is by going to Canifis with the Ancient Spellbook, and go down this passage behind the pub. Follow the path which will take you to another cave, and by using the agility shortcuts you will be near the Blood Altar. Keep in mind that you need 74 agility for one of the shortcuts, and a whopping 93 for the other one, which will be a lot better. Also, if doing it this way, you may need to go to the Abyss to repair your pouches, as you will be on the Ancient Spellbook and not the Lunar one for NPC contact, so you can talk to the mage in the middle, and repair your pouches this way. In order to bypass this, you may take the Karil teleport tabs, which will cut your profit just a little bit and be on the Lunar Spellbook. In my personal opinion, the following method is much better. Go to the bank of your choice to resupply, and go to a fairy ring to enter the code DLS to land inside the cave system. Go through a few passageways and you will have to follow nearly the same path. This saves on Canifis teleport, so it's cheaper since you won't spend money on runes. This one is better than the Canifis teleport because you can actually have the lunar spellbook active, and we are using a teleport to a fairy ring instead. If you are looking for an AFK method to train this skill, look no further than Zeah Runecrafting, which is available after 100% Arceus favor and of course at level 77 and level 90. You can make blood and soul runes here, and it is what I did back when I was on my road to skill mastery. Copy the gear you see on screen, which is a lot less convoluted, and head to the Arceus mine to begin mining essence blocks. Once your inventory is full, you will need to go to the altar west of the mine, and click on it to imbue your essence blocks. You will then need to use a chisel on them to turn them into fragments, and you can do this on your way back to the mine for the second inventory. Repeat this process once more, and then you have two options. You can go south to make blood runes, for which I also recommend the blood essence for extra runes. And when you're done, just use the shortcut east of the altar. For slightly more experience, but a little less money, you can instead go this way after your second batch of blocks, and head to the soul altar. Click on it to make your runes, chisel the remaining blocks, and then click on the altar once more to go back to the mine. Depending on your performance, both your GP and XP per hour can change here, and since it's an AFK method, there's a real big chance people might not be paying a lot of attention, which will lead to lower results. But average numbers can be seen on screen. By far the best moneymaker, and of course the most demanding, will be crafting Wrath runes after completion of the Grandmaster quest Dragon Slayer 2. This one is also slightly more dangerous, so get ready to sweat. This is my ideal setup, and with it you will be able to make massive amounts of GP for your last 4 levels of runecrafting. The most important items are a Wrath tiara, or your runecrafting outfit with a catalytic tiara attached, a shield for dragon protection, a mythical cape, and of course your pouches and a bank teleport of your choice. Go to the Myths Guild and click on the statue directly south. Then run past the dragons, which won't damage you a ton, and click on the exit on the wall. You will pop out on a small island with the Wrath altar. Click on it to go in, and craft all of your pure essence into powerful Wrath runes. Rinse and repeat for as long as you need, and get ready for that bank to grow chunkier. This one is fairly simple, and all I can really tell you to make it more efficient is to watch out for camera placements for each area so you know exactly where to click. For the best runecrafting money-making method, you surely want to waste as little time as possible. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I consider the most important and the traditional methods to train runecrafting. But as you will see in all my guides, I will briefly touch on other methods to diversify your options. Remember that you can find the live examples of each method in the description below if you want to learn more about them. The very first one should be fairly popular for all types of Ironman, and it is the Arceus library. I recommend the Runelite plugin for it for you to be able to know where the books are and when they change. Go to the middle ground section of the library and talk to one of the NPCs to help them with a book. Bring it back to them, and they will give you a book which will grant you 4 times your runecrafting level in experience. The early levels will fly with this method, but then it's going to turn pretty slow. At level 2 you can make mind runes. I don't actually recommend doing them at level 2 since you can skip them, but if you have at least level 50 for 3 rune pouches, a teleport near a bank, and the level for the Mind Altar teleport in the Arceus spellbook, Mind Runecrafting is the best way to hunt for the pet if you don't have it already. I spent a few months doing this with no success, and XP per hour here is really not bad either. At level 40 and after the Lunar Diplomacy quest, you can make Astral runes. Just copy the setup you see on screen and adjust to what you have. Since Astral runes are the lowest priced I have ever seen them for years, I don't really recommend this for GP, but rather a breath of fresh air and of course a pretty decent experience per hour, especially at level 40. At level 44 you can then craft the Iconic Nature rune. I will show you how to do it via Fairy Ring, as we will talk about the Abyss next. This also requires Fairy Rings, and when your setup is ready, dial CKR on the Fairy Ring to land west of Shiloh Village. Travel northwest past the trees, and then click on the Nature Altar to craft your runes, and bank once again. At level 91 you will craft 2 runes per essence, which will double your GP output. Up next we have Death runes, but you can use this method to craft pretty much every type of rune. We will go to the Abyss, so ready up at Edgeville and then head north, click on the Zamorakian Wizard, and then you will be teleported to the Abyss. Keep in mind that once you enter you will be skulled and will lose all of your prayer points, so never take anything you're not willing to lose. Once inside, look for an entrance you can go through. Since we have a pickaxe, you can look for rocks to mine, or click on the agility entrances that look like sleeve, I guess? or a pair of eyes on the ground, which will make use of the thieving skill. Once you're in the second section of the Abyss, you can click on any entrance to go to the respective altar and craft whatever rune you want. But for this method, we are doing death runes. Keep in mind that you can talk to the Dark Mage in the center of the Abyss to repair your pouches, and it is necessary for you to unlock this option with the NPC contact spell in the Lunar Book, without going to the Abyss. An advanced method is to do this with the Achievement Diary Cape. Since it has unlimited teleports to all Diary NPCs, use the second teleport to bank at Shanty Pass, and then use the teleport on the letter E to go to the Lesser Fanatic near the Wilderness Ditch. This will drastically accelerate your experience per hour. Last and definitely not least, I will talk about the absolute fastest way to go from levels 1 through 99, but won't go too much into detail because it involves other people. You can look for boosting services on Discord servers to hire people to bring you essence at the altars. The only thing you will need to do is accept people's trades, craft your runes, and pay a disgusting amount of money. I'm not even going to get into the specifics of how much this would cost, but let's just say it's only viable for billionaires who want a fast to 99. And hey, if you're good at runecrafting, you can even be recruited. And now for my favorite part of the guide, how would I personally go from 1 to 99 if I had to do it all over again? Well, I'm not going to craft the low-level runes, so I would do the mini-quest Enter the Abyss, followed by 1 level of Earth runes, followed by Guardians of the Rift to reach level 27. After which I would probably stay here until 99, or at least until I have the pearls required for the runecrafting outfit, and until I get my Abyssal Needle and my Lantern. I would of course take a few breaks to do the quests required for Cosmic, Law, Death, and Blood runes for more points. Another path would be using Guardians of the Rift until level 50, go grab my large essence pouch, and then head to the ZMI Altar until level 77. At this point, if I want to make a ton of money, I would do Blood runes from 77 to 95, and then Wrath runes from 95 to 99. For a more chill experience though, a ton of AFK would be done at the Zeah Altar for Blood runes at level 77, and then Soul runes at level 90. For a final step, I would get level 85 via any of the previous methods, get my Colossal Pouch, and stay at Guardians of the Rift until I had my Runecrafting Cape. Ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it for the Runecrafting guide. Thank you so much for coming and for making it this far. If you did, make sure to tell me how you would get level 99 runecrafting, or if you already have it. A massive thank you to all my channel members. You boys and girls are absolutely insane, and your support goes a long way. If you want to be part of this list of legends, click on the join button below to subscribe monetarily, and receive a ton of benefits in the videos, in the live streams, and of course in the Discord. Stay tuned for the next video, and of course for the next 1 to 99 guide, where we will see how to achieve mastery in the farming skill. Have an amazing day, have an amazing week, and I will see you then. Peace.